Hello, Unjani. Goeiemorgen. I hope you are well. It's Mr. Hing here, guys. What we're doing today is area, perimeter, and circumference. However, we have touched on the first six questions, and what we are going to be doing is the last four questions, got to do with circles. So, are you ready? I am. Let's jump right in, guys. Okay, so, zoomed in too much there. Let's have a look. Okay, so guys, what we are doing in this video is how to calculate area and circumference this time. Why do we use the word circumference? Because we are dealing with circles. Okay, when we talk about the distance around the circle, we talk about circumference and not perimeter. Okay, so guys, let's see. We have a question over here which says, there's a circle and there is a radius of 5 centimeters. So guys, what did I say in the previous video? Please use your formulas. Use your formulas. Use your formulas. Okay, so the area or the formula of the area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. Okay, so use for pi, please, in this case I am using pi, like in the calculator I'm typing in pi, but if they are stating to use 3,14 or 3,142, please do follow the instructions and go ahead with that. Okay, so as I said, the formula is pi times the radius squared. So what's amazing about this question is that we have the radius here, don't we? So that means all we got to do is put the number into that formula and we will have our answer just like that, guys. So it's going to be pi in your calculator, sorry, pi in the calculator times 5, which is the radius, and then you square it. Why? Guys, some people ask, why do you square it? Why do you do pi and stuff like that? Well, we get it from the formula. Please just follow the formula, okay? And then put the numbers that we have into the formula, okay? So once we have done this, we put that in the calculator and we get our answer of 78,54 centimeters squared. In this case, guys, in all of the questions that I did here and even before, I just rounded off to 2 decimal places, but in your tests and exams, please follow the instructions closely and correctly, okay? All right, and then circumference, guys, please, again, what did I say 3 times just now? Use your formulas. So the formula for circumference is 2 times pi times the radius, or you can actually use pi times the diameter, but I'm just going to be using this one, okay? So what did I say? Just put the numbers that you have in your diagram into the formula. So it's going to be 2, we get that from the formula, times pi, we get that from the formula, times, and then the radius is 5. So literally, guys, you put that in your calculator and you get your answer of 31,42 centimeters. Again, I'm rounding off to 2 decimal places. Okay, and then guys, if I had to ask a bonus question for 1 or 2 marks, what is the diameter of this circle? Well, what do we know, guys? We know that the diameter of a circle is a point on the circumference going through the center of the circle and then to the other side of the circumference. So that means it is double the radius. So if it's double the radius, it's going to be 5 times 2, and that makes 10 centimeters. Okay, let's head on over to this question. So in this question, guys, we have what is this called? This line going through the center to the other side. This line is called the diameter. So in this case, when we use a radius, we'll have to divide this by 2 or halve it. Okay, so the area, again, please always write your formula that you're going to use. So the area equals pi times the radius squared. Okay, so your radius, I said we need to calculate the radius. It's not going to be 40, that's the diameter, but it's going to be 40 divided by 2, and that's going to give me 20. So we substitute this answer into our formula. So it's going to be pi times 20, that's the radius, and then squared. Okay, put that in your calculator and you get your answer. Okay, in millimeters squared again, because we're dealing with area. And then again with circumference, guys, it's going to be this is your formula. So it's going to be 2 times, this 2 goes over there. So it's 2 times that pi comes here, 2 times pi times the radius, and that is going to give us this answer over here once you put that in your calculator. Okay, so it's as simple as that, guys. As you can see, I'm literally just putting the stuff in the calculator and getting the answers. Okay, now guys, what do we have over here? We have half a circle, okay, or semicircle. So what needs to happen is, what we'll do is we are going to get the formula of area again. Sorry, let me just erase that quickly and be a bit more specific. So we're going to get the formula of the area of a circle, which is pi times a radius squared. But now there's a difference. We are not calculating the area of a full circle. We are calculating the area of half a circle or semicircle. So what does that mean? Well, that means if I'm going to calculate the area of a normal circle, which is this formula, I'm going to have to halve that, or another way of saying it is divided by 2. Okay, so please follow along. So again, the radius that they give us is 10 centimeters. However, we don't want to use the diameter they give us is 10, but we don't want the diameter, we want the radius. So we'll take the 10 divided by 2, and it gives us 5 centimeters. So put that in your formula. It's going to be pi. You get that from here. Then what comes next? Times the radius squared. And what was our radius? It was 5. So our radius is 5, and we square it. But after you do that, you're going to divide it by 2 because it is half the area. It's not just the area of a circle, but it's half the area of the circle. And once you put this into your calculator, you are going to get your answer of 39.27 centimeters squared. Again, I'm rounding off to 2 decimal places. Please follow the correct instructions on your test paper of how to round off. Okay. All right, now let's look at circumference. So again, guys, the circumference is, remember, it's the distance around, it should be directly on that line, distance around the circle. And remember, it's not like carrying on here, guys. It's not carrying on. It's just up until this point over here. This point over here. So what does that mean? It means it is the circumference of half a circle. Okay, so that means we put our normal formula, 2 times pi times radius. That's the area, that's the formula for circumference. But now we need to divide it by 2. Another way of saying that is halving it. Okay, so you put this in your calculator. The 2, it comes here, it's from the formula, times pi, it's from the formula, and then the radius we get from calculating the radius, and that becomes 5. So you put that in your calculator, but then you divide it by 2, and then you should get the answer of 15.71 centimeters. Okay, and again, I'm rounding off. All right, so let's have a look at the last question, which is a bit interesting. The question is calculate this should be the shaded region. So it's asking us to calculate this area over here, this area, and this area. And we can see that this is a square because it has the lengths are the same. Or the side has the same length, and there's a 90 degree. So we can see here that this is going to be a square, and they are asking us to calculate the shaded area. So what needs to be taken out of the square? Listen carefully. What needs to be taken out of the square? What type of shape must be taken out of the square in order to be left with that shaded area? Well, can you see we need to subtract the area of a circle? Can you see that? So, guys, essentially what we're going to do is we're going to calculate firstly the area of the square, right? The whole thing. And then we're going to take out all of this. So we're going to minus the area of a circle. And you and me both know how to calculate the area of a square. And we both know how to calculate the area of a circle. So it's actually quite simple. So let's do that. So it's the area of the square is length times length. So it's going to be 6 times 6, which is 36 centimeters squared. And then we are going to take the area of a circle. So again, please use your best friends, use your formulas. So it's pi times the radius and squared. So our radius, oh, this is another important part, is that how do we know what our radius is going to be of this circle? Well, if you think about it, guys, a point from the circumference on this circle through the center to the other side, that is called what? It's a diameter, am I right? And this distance is going to be the same as the distance of the square. So this whole thing is actually going to be 6 centimeters. But remember, we don't want the diameter, we want just half of it, a radius. So half of 6 is going to be 3 centimeters. So that is actually my radius. Okay, that equals the radius. So now we can put that into our formula because we'll have the radius. So it's going to be pi, which comes from the formula, times the radius. We work that out, it's 3, and then squared, that comes from the formula. So you put that into your calculator and you get 28,27 centimeters squared. But guys, we're not done yet. Remember, this is the magic thing that we are focusing on over here. We got the area over here of the square, but now we need a minus the area of the circle. So it's going to be the 36 minus the 28,27. I'm just putting it in the calculator as I'm speaking, and we will get an answer of 7,73. Okay, guys, and again, I rounded off to 2 decimal places, so it's going to be centimeters squared. Okay, so guys, this question was a bit different. It wasn't a question of circumference. It was a question of testing your understanding. Do you know what they are actually asking? And they asked you to calculate the area of the shaded region, and that means that it is basically the area of the entire square, right? And then minus all of this, and that will leave us with the shaded area. All right, guys, so that brings us to the end of this video. I hope it is helpful. Again, please comment any questions that you have in the section below. And if it was helpful, please like, share, subscribe. It is helpful for other distributing this content to other people who need this assistance, which would be great for them. So yeah, guys, this is Mr. Hing. I will see you in the next one.